what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wednesday night show, Round Robin. And Robin is not here tonight, and instead we have a MetaTropes. Say hi to MetaTropes, everybody! Yay!
MetaTropes is gonna say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Hi.
And Robin is actually playing a game right now. She's on another channel. How dare she? Playing the Wendy's Restaurant 5e. Everybody hates Wendy's game, or whatever that is that she's playing. I don't know, but she'll be back next time. So Meta is also a partner of mine on the Tabletop RPG Network, and so everybody should check out her channel and bookmark it. It is twitch.tv/metatropes, right?
That is correct.
That is correct. And then she's Lady Arcanist on Twitch, everybody. So just get on it. Just get all over that account and make sure she has 69 followers.
Me.
Huh?
It's just more say get all over me.
Yeah, get all up in that. She's got a green screen. She knows what's up.
Green screen completely fucking useless.
Do you ever put shit on that? I usually, when I see you streaming, well, I know you put yourself down in the corner and then there's just nothing behind you but the game.
I try to have as much game screen space as possible, so I just don't put anything back there.
You don't put like fancy like farm scenes or deers frolicking in the woods or anything like that.
That would be cool though. When I do my reading thing, I put a library behind me. When I read aloud, we're in the middle of Sabriel.
Yeah, and I don't have a green screen, but I do have a camera that has it in it. But boy, does Discord hate it. So if I'm ever using Discord cameras like we are now, I can't put a background. It makes me insane. Speaking of your channel, you do which campaigns do you do that are Dungeons and Dragons? I know you're doing Princes of the Apocalypse, right?
Yeah, that's really the only one I have going right now, and that one is struggling as it is because we have players in and out, back and forth, up and down. Life is like throwing people curveballs. So
yeah, that's my favorite of the official WotC releases of Dungeons and Dragons Adventures, Princes of the Apocalypse. They haven't put one out yet that I like better. I really like that one.
I haven't really had a chance to play much else in like the old sort of re-releases because Princes of the Apocalypse was originally Elemental Evil, right? Temple of Elemental Evil stuff.
Yes. Well, kind of.
It was like sort of a rebranding of that.
Because there is a redo of Temple of Elemental Evil itself, but I think they took elements from that. And because I had never played Temple of Elemental Evil of any of the previous editions of D&D.
I tried.
I think they but they did I want to say, is that one of the ones they did in Tales from the Yawning Portal? Because I know they did 7 different stories in that one, and I thought Temple of Elemental Evil was one of them. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I started Tales of the Yawning Portal. I think somebody else from our network, Drake what the heck is his name?
Schmo?
No.
Gorgio.
No.
Marbania.
No. Keep going. There's only so many.
Yeah, there's only like 7 people. Who am I missing? Let's look. Is it
Dragon Bait?
Oh my god. Oh, Dragon Bait. He's not on our...
Yeah, Dragon Bait.
Oh, he's not on our network, Dragon Bait. He's in the chat though.
Yeah, he's in the Discord chat. He's not on the network?
Unless he goes by a different name on... No, he's not. We've got Engorgio, who's streaming right now with more people than me. How dare he? Schmo, Digital Dave, of course, you, me, Drake Takes, and Marbania, and Wormfood.
How odd, because I know that he's in the Discord channel with us.
Yeah, he's here right now in the Discord channel, but maybe if it was him, but he's not on our network. It doesn't matter. We still love him. It doesn't matter.
Well, anyway, yeah, he started running a Tales of the Yawning Portal game. And I was in that for a little while. I had to bow out because of some other obligations and things, so I didn't get to see it through to the end. So, but I started it and never finished it. I don't really know what's in it, but I know.
Were you DM or were you just playing it?
I was just a player. I was playing a gnome, a gnome warlock.
All right, I believe you. I totally believe you. I DM'd.
Oh yeah, because I had the Archfey patron. That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
We did a thing where 7 of us were in the campaign and each one of us DM'd one of the things.
Oh, I like that.
And so yeah, that was fun. And
Is that like was that on the computer on over the on
it was
Fantasy
using
Grounds?
Fantasy Grounds, and as a matter of fact, one of the players early on in that campaign was Doug Davison.
Hmm.
Yes, and it is on YouTube. Check it out, everybody.
Very
He
cool.
also sent me to the hospital. The very first session we had, I got sick halfway through it, and I ended up having to go to the emergency room that night, and I was in the hospital for 6 days, and I blame Doug
Good
Davison.
lord.
Yeah, that was his fault.
Aw.
He said I don't give
Hey,
inspiration to my players unless they go to the hospital, so then he gave me
oh
inspiration.
Jesus. Dragonbait is actually in the chat talking to us, I think.
Yes, he said he was waiting till after the virus stuff, uh, because he works in healthcare. God bless him, if you
Oh.
believe in a god. Uh, and his schedule is that's why he's
Yeah,
like,
that'll do it.
you're the man,
That'll do it.
Dragonbait. He's either a nurse or a doctor or a pharmacist or a EMT or he's something in the healthcare industry. We don't know.
A
He might tell us.
janitor?
He could be a janitor. We
Literally
don't know.
anything.
He still has to wear a mask. God damn it. Um,
Yeah, please do. Please do.
what state do you live in, Meta?
I live in Pennsylvania.
Yes, Pennsylvania. My aunt lives in State College, by the way. She's lived there for a long time.
Oh, I've been there. I've been to State College
Yeah,
a couple
my
of times.
aunt was the head administrator for 25 years. She's retired now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been to Penn State, but I know that's where she is.
Cool.
And I was gonna actually go visit her, my mom's sister. I was gonna go visit her. My mother's passed away, so I haven't seen my aunt for like since 2014. And I was gonna go
Sorry.
visit her in like September, but I don't think that's gonna happen now because I am immunocompromised and I can't, masks or not, I can't get on a plane now. That's just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's. Are the travel bans lifted everywhere now? Because I know that they're like phasing back in things around here.
Yeah,
I know
I
that
heard the
workers
airlines
can
were,
travel.
yeah, they're doing 60% capacity with seats in between, so they're only doing aisle seats and window seats. And
Okay.
then and they're apparently they're going to do, this is kind of smart. Oh, pharmacist. He's a pharmacist. Did you?
Roger.
Yeah, Washington State churns out pharmacists. We're a pharmacist factory here in Washington State because our Washington State University, that one of their main thing that everybody loves is either animal husbandry or pharmacist. It's the same, but
Fair.
yeah, it's the same. They're the same. Um, so and I think they're going to do where you can't go to the airport or go to the get on the plane unless you have a mask, and if you they're going to check your temperature. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
pretty
smart.
smart.
I know that my best friend basically in life, he works at a prison. He's some sort of supervisor in the dietary part of the prison. Um, they said that ever since the beginning and even now they have somebody they're paying, like a team of people that they pay to basically stand around and just hold a laser thermometer at people just to check their temperature as they go through checkpoints in the prison. Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty smart because one person gets sick, basically that
yeah,
whole prison is on
yeah,
lockdown,
they're
which I think it is
basically,
anyway, but because isn't that the whole
oh
point to
yeah,
keep them there?
yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, that would be terrible if, like 600 or 1,000 people all got it because one guy had it.
Apparently, it's a really big thing with the prisons, though. Prisons are catching it like
Yeah,
wildfire because they can't stop certain activities because people are locked in their cages
yeah.
so often they
Are we
still have to
calling them
get yard
cages now?
time.
They're not cells, they're cages. Is that
Is
what
it
you're?
not a cage though? It's a
It
people
is a cage. It's
cage.
totally a
It's
cage.
a cage.
Uh, but I've never heard anybody say that. Oh, I went to prison. I was in my cage for 5 years. Um, people are trying to get in trouble so they can go to isolation. That they want to go to the SHU or
Oh
to the
God, no.
but
Just stay in your house. It's bad enough.
no, but I mean if you're in what I meant was people that are already in prison, they're
Oh
trying to
yeah,
beat
they're
up
trying to
somebody so they get
avoid
sent to
population.
isolation. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's it.
But
That's one way to do it, I guess.
I live in Washington State, which has actually been one of the top states as far as not no new cases and like
Good.
there's only been 30 deaths from COVID-19 in my county, which is like 300,000 people, so that's pretty good.
Oh wow, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good.
But it's amazing because I try to not go out. You got to go out and get food, right? There's not much you can do.
Hmm.
Sometimes you have to go out, and it's amazing to me. I go out And I don't know if people are just dumb. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they
But
are. Yeah, they are.
nobody
Yeah, they
is. Yeah,
are.
well, I was trying to be nice, but I absolutely do
No,
know
no.
that most people are dumb. They're fucking stupid. But I see so many people with no masks, and they don't get it. I think what most people are thinking wrong. They're wrong, but this is what they're thinking: is I don't need a mask. I'm fine. I'm not going to get sick. That's not why you're wearing a mask. You're wearing a mask to protect me, not you, asshole. But they don't know that. They don't get it.
Yeah. I I have to like I was getting worked up like
You were getting
when
worked
when
up.
when this first became a thing, I work at the front desk of a hotel. So,
Oh my
we
god.
were losing business, but what business was coming in were people who basically think that this is a government conspiracy and they shouldn't be worried about it because it's not real. So they were still coming in
See,
and
that
they
would
didn't want to
be,
wear their
yeah,
masks
that would
and
be funny if it wasn't like
if it
threatening
wasn't
your
killing
life. Yeah,
people.
right, right.
So I'm over here with my mask and my rubber gloves, and I'm like, stay 6 feet away from my counter, please. Talk to me from over there. Just,
Wow.
but like people were still coming in, and travel got banned, and we lost business. So we shut down our doors for about a month, and we just reopened like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But people are just now able to leave their house, and already like trying to throw a fit because we're not serving breakfast. We're not allowing people to commune in the lobby area. Like we have seating spaces, communal seating spaces in the lobby where people would normally be able to like sit down on a comfy couch and relax and eat their food and hang out with their
Right.
friends or whatever they want to do. The fitness center's not open. The business center technically shouldn't be open because people aren't allowed to gather in there. We made an exception for the electric company. Um, the pool's not open. People are fucking throwing fits
Oh
at
yeah,
us because
yeah.
we're not able to give them these small amenities. Like our ice machine is shut down because people have to touch it.
Right. Yeah, it's just
It's
smart. It's just smart
it's a
policy to do
thing.
that. But yeah, I get it because people are so, oh my god, people. It's a shame that we need people to like perpetuate the planet, but I don't need people. I can do without them, Meta. You're all I need. You're all I need right now for this amount of time. I don't need anybody else.
For 1 hour, I am your
That's
life.
right. But anybody watching, we like you too. Yeah, coronavirus. I didn't imagine that's what we'd be talking about, but as you know, this show has no format. We can talk about whatever the fuck we want. Is there
Well,
anybody in
something else
chat?
though.
What's that?
I
Say
said,
that
let's
again?
talk about something else.
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Anything else.
Someone in chat, give us a topic and we'll talk about it. It can be about gaming or it can be about anything. It can be about, well, let's maybe maybe politics and religion. We'll skip those, but anything else we can talk
Let's
about.
have a deep, in-depth, serious discussion about religious politics.
Yeah, yeah, let's mix them together. Yeah, let's do it.
What about
Um
politics and your religion?
Yeah, politics and religion. Those are trouble spots because people have ideas and people have opinions.
It's so deeply ingrained in people that you can't you can't just be civil about it. You can't have a conversation about it. It always has to turn into hot tub time machines.
Yeah, he wants to talk about hot tub time machines.
That's my religion.
Well, if and I happen to be a hot tub time machinist, so that's my politics. Um, I would, if I could, I would so use a hot tub time machine. Oh my god, can you go? The thing is, can you only go forward, backward, or both? That's what I want to know. In the movie, what did
Uh,
they do? They went back, didn't they?
Excellent question. I never actually saw the movie.
Oh, it's fun. You should watch it. It's
It looked
fun.
raunchy. Is it raunchy?
Um, I mean, it's R rated, so I'm sure there's some language in it. Now,
I mean,
when you say raunchy, what is your definition of that word, raunchy?
like uh awkward, random graphic sexual shit that
Are you
is
against that?
borderline offensive for no reason.
Are you against
Like,
this? Are you against this line of entertainment?
not against it, it's just not for me.
Oh, okay, good.
I mean,
Uh,
I 100% agree with any girl who can make a paycheck from showing her tits on screen. Please keep doing that.
I'm gonna say I agree with you. I don't know why, but I am gonna agree with you on that. You can't, of course, do that on Twitch unless you're hiding the fact that you're doing that. Are you looking down your shirt? Because I don't know. I might give you a run for your money. Unless you're hiding the fact that you're showing your breasts on screen by I'm doing body art, then you can fully display anything.
Yeah.
That seems crazy to me.
I need to get a painter in my house so that we
Right.
can just. When you're doing the body painting thing, because I've never actually watched a body painting stream, but when you're doing one of those, can you get away with like full nudity or just boobs?
No, it's just boobs, and apparently they have to be pre-painted. So the nipple
so you can't
area
actually...
must be pre-painted, and then
Okay.
you can basically start with pasties, right? I don't know why
Yeah,
I'm holding my
okay.
hands here for myself. I have quite a nice chest for
This is
a
where
man.
my boobs go.
A fat guy always has boobs, right? It's like the perfect. I always think that lesbians, or I mean, no, I'm screwing it up. Never mind. Forget about that.
Okay, keep
Because
going.
I have a penis and boobs. I'm like a she-male. I don't know what's happening. Let me just forget all that. This is going on YouTube, by the way.
Do you have fun with all of your parts?
I mean,
That's
like,
what matters.
I would be. Let's just be honest. The whole body is an erogenous zone. Let's just get to the point here. What were we talking about? Oh, boobs on stream, right? Is that green screen lip balm you have there, or is it just a green? It looks like
it's just green.
Okay.
It's medicated mint balm Blistex for my.
I don't
super
have
tough lips that I
anything
get.
here that would be like a body aid. I suppose I could squirt a canned air into my mouth, but I don't think I'm gonna do it.
Problem.
So yeah, so boobs on. So your point was anybody who gets money for showing their body, more power to them. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
I would do it if I thought I would. If I thought
you.
Yeah, if I thought taking
it.
my shirt off was gonna get me more followers, I would do it. But no, it's not. As a matter of fact, what might happen is I'd lose followers if I did that.
I won't do it. I wouldn't do it for attention. Like I wouldn't do it just to get people to notice me. But if you're going to pay me,
Yeah.
how much?
See, I would like.
How
Yeah.
much are you going to pay me?
I would like to meet more people that had this type of attitude. For example, let's say I was talking to a lovely young lady in a bar, a hotel bar, or somewhere that I'd met her, total stranger, and we got into a conversation of this nature, and we agreed that she would, like basically, like, let's say for the purposes of the story, she would have sex with me for $1 million. Let's just say that. Let's just say she agreed to that.
Okay.
Then I would be in a position to say to her, well, now that we've established that that's what you do, now it's just negotiating the fee. Now it's just negotiating down from $1 million. Let's start at $5. Let's start at $5. Now that because there was an old joke about that, like if a woman agreed to have sex with you for $1 million, you'd say, well, now that we've agreed that you're a whore, can I get a nickel's worth? Like, what would that be? I don't know. I screwed up the joke, but.
Oh, jeez. That's one way to phrase it.
I tried to phrase it the most wrong way I could think of, which was that.
I like to consider those individuals pleasure artists.
Yeah, well, I wish
they perform for money.
I don't see why prostitution is illegal if we're going to be honest about it. I don't understand why
I used to live in a place where it wasn't.
Was that Las Vegas?
No, not quite, but I was 10 miles away from the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah. Oh, but so you were in Clark County then, or not Clark County? Every county in.
I was right outside of.
Yeah, because Ranch. I think in the state of Nevada, prostitution is legal in every county except Clark County, which is where Vegas is.
That makes sense. Yeah, because you can't prostitute on the boulevard.
No.
Yeah.
You can't. But what you can do on the Strip is walk down you can walk down the avenue and do this, and hand cards to people that have prostitutes on the cards. You can do that.
Oh, you can advertise prostitution.
You can advertise it.
You just can't actually commit the act. Interesting.
Exactly. And then.
I never went to Vegas. Have you been to Vegas like yourself?
I've been to Vegas a few times. I've never got a prostitute there.
I've never had a prostitute there, he says. Not there.
No, not in Vegas, no. Uh, there was this one time.
Oh, tell us all the story.
All right, well, both my parents are dead, so I
Uh,
can tell the story. There was a time where they had legalized prostitution in in a city called Wallace, Idaho. It's where they filmed the movie
Interesting.
Heaven's Gate of all places. And somebody in my high school had decided or had discovered this information when we were like 18 or whatever. And not only was it legal, the famous brothel in town was across the street from the sheriff's office. So
Good.
they not only
There's no safer place.
yeah, exactly. They not only was it legal, the city promoted it like that was part of their tourist attraction was, hey, come
Why
get
not?
laid here, right? So I'm 18 and my friends are like, let's go to Wallace, and I'm like, yeah, right. And so we did, and then, unexpected activities that I didn't think were gonna happen. But when I
Did
got in the
you
car, yes, she was
continue?
26 and her name was Lisa. That's what happened.
Her name
And
was Lisa. You remember her name?
yeah. Well, I've
You're
only
such a sweet guy.
I've only done this once in my entire life. So, and by the way, recently I've been on the internet trying to find escorts and stuff, but I just there's no it's in the year 2020 you can't even do it. There's no way to do it.
Yes, there is. I will show you.
Okay, well I'm gonna take you up on that.
Okay.
There is a way to
You
do it, but
100% can find them.
there's a way to do it now. I can't believe this is what we're talking about. There's a way to do it now. People are
My
gonna be
life.
so mad they missed this. Um, George Orr wants to know how would you do that with social distancing? Hey, I'm gonna have a mask on. Don't worry about it. Um,
That's the important part.
yeah,
That's
cover
the
your nose
important
and
part
mouth.
to
Everything
protect.
else is fair game. Uh, you can go on Google and type in like escorts and stuff. You can do that, but everybody that you'll find seems like a scam because they all want you to um go to like a verify site, like come to a verify site so I know you're not a criminal or that you're not escaped from prison or this and that, and then
Yeah.
there's fees for that, and I'm like, nope, not gonna do it.
So, I mean, you're looking for a legitimate escort, or do
Well,
you
i'm
just
i'm actually starved for just any human being, no matter who it is, to come to my house and sit in a chair next to me. I prefer female. And I'm not saying for
prefer, not
sex.
demand?
Right.
Just attention.
Right. I'm not saying for sex. I'm not saying that, but I happen to know that the escort service, that's their whole thing. You pay them money for their time,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
yeah. They don't care what they're doing, as
yeah,
long as
yeah,
you're
exactly. So
paying.
but uh yeah, so
Where in my hometown, since we're on this subject, in my hometown where I grew up, we have um a place, a strip sort of that goes straight through the middle of town that we call Gallatin Avenue. The actual name of it, but everybody around all the way to Pittsburgh knows Gallatin Avenue because that is where our illegal prostitution happens. And they get busted, and then 2 days later they're right back out there doing their
yeah.
thing. The problem is that most of them are not 100% clean.
Well, yeah, we
There's
have that
not.
here. We have Sprague Avenue here. Yes, we do. And I'm not in
So
that I'm not interested in.
yeah,
I'm not interested in streetwalkers per se.
yeah.
Not that they're
Well, my
not that there's not a place for them. Absolutely. Take your shirt off, get money. But uh Diablo Bob, oh, I came into the stream at an awkward time. Um it's
oh,
not
this is the
awkward.
tamer half.
Yeah, this is us on the down curve from what we were talking about. But yeah, so that I'm not, because if all I wanted to do was get laid, that wouldn't be hard. I could go down to this hooker strip or whatever if that's all I cared about.
The hooker strip.
This
Yeah,
hooker
yeah.
strip, yeah.
But the point of me explaining that we have Gallatin Avenue is on the subject that you just want somebody to spend time with. Every time you drive through there, there's like a group of ladies looking to make some money, and my cousin and we have to drive through Gallatin Avenue to get to literally anywhere because the restaurants are on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So when I go to hang out with my cousin, every time we drive through there, we make this joke about going to pick up all of them and just take them out to a nice lunch. We're just
Yeah,
we're just gonna go buy them a nice lunch. We're gonna pay them their fee for 2 hours of time. We're gonna take them to a nice lunch, and then send them on their way and see if they're ever, you know, what happens. Just social experiment.
that sounds like what I would have done when I was an active stand-up comedian. Is do
Oh,
something
you
like
were.
that to hear their stories, right? To get some material out of all the stuff they might say.
Oh my God, they probably have the best
Right?
stories.
They probably have horrible, like horrific stories, and then also ones that are really funny and good.
Or both. Just
Yeah,
both.
exactly. It's funny after time. Tragedy plus time equals comedy. Uh,
Fair.
Diablo Bob says, "Hey, Metatropes."
Hey, what's going
Hey.
on, boo? How you doing?
What's up? She's got a much more alluring hey how you doing than I do.
Hey, I
Hey.
thought that maybe we could talk about some stuff together.
Yeah, let's hear what she has to say.
That's it. That's all I had.
That's
That's all
it.
the
I'm
material
out.
I had. I need more money. Pay me. No.
So what was that game I saw you playing the other day where you were uh, uh, it looked like a turn-based game that you were playing that had like nuclear apocalyptic tones.
Was it Surviving the Aftermath?
Yes.
That colony builder?
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Gotcha. That one's not exactly turn-based. It's basically a colony management slash survival game where you have to like rebuild from bare minimum resources after your small group of people left the bunker. There was a nuclear apocalypse.
And it's called
So,
Surviving. What's it called again?
Surviving the Aftermath.
Yeah, Surviving the Aftermath.
I think it's on the Epic Game Store is where I bought it. It might be on Steam too, but I think I bought it from Epic.
I don't know. Epic. I
Have
don't
you
know
Are
that
you
one.
into games like that?
I
Do you get
am. I
into
what happens to me is I like games like that, but what happens to me is I'll start playing a game that's similar to that and I'll play it
Mhm.
for a few days and then I'll go out and buy like 5 other games that are like that and then just never and play each of them for 20 minutes. Like I can't finish it. I was very
I
happy
live
though.
that life.
I did I uh Jedi Fallen Order was on sale for like half price, and so I bought it. And this isn't a management game; it's like a third person story game. And I
Right.
finished it in
I think I've
19
seen that
hours, and
one.
I was like, "That's it." I played it for like a week and a half, and then
Jeez.
my time in game was 19 hours, and I played the whole story to the end, and I was like, "That's it? It's over?" People paid
Did
$60 for this.
What
Yeah.
happened to that? Did they redo Knights of the Old Republic or something like that? Do you remember that
Um,
game?
I don't know. This was a sort of a one-off, not a sequel or anything to you play a young kid who's becoming a Jedi, and then
Okay.
by the end of the game you're supposed to become a Jedi and win or whatever. But
Oh.
so and it was fun.
Yeah,
It
I've
was
never seen that
cool.
one.
But
I
yeah, I like games you can play over and over and over. And basically, once you beat that game, once the story's over, you don't have a desire
not
to
a
do it again. Yeah.
not a lot of replayability or end
Right.
game stuff, huh? Yeah. Um, I think that's the reason. Like when it comes to story games lately, I used to get really, really big into just JRPGs. I was huge into like Ni no Kuni and stuff like that.
I mean, what's
Um,
JRPG mean? What's the J?
Japanese role playing
Oh,
game.
Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the anime style stuff. I
Gotcha.
was really big into those. That's like those old Final Fantasy games, stuff like that. So I was like really big into those like JRPG style games, and then I realized that once I got so far in the story, either I would just lose interest in the story after 10, 15 hours of like playing through the story, or I would like get through to the end of the story and then I would fall in love with these characters And I would really want more content than if there was ever a sequel. It was like 10 years away. So
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
get into them anymore.
Yeah.
So I started picking up uh MMOs. I started playing MMOs as an alternative just because you still get your characters. They're still there. You could still go interact with them and have side quests.
Right.
I was really big into Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I've never played a Final Fantasy game, and they're up to like 19 or 20 now or something, and I've never
I don't
played one.
know. They just remade 7. Everybody was super, super hyped up about the remake of Final Fantasy 7.
So are those not sequels, or they're like individual things you can just play one and you don't have to play the other ones?
I have no idea. I know that some of the characters, like, there's a through line for, like, this actually happened and it somehow affects what's happening in this game, but I don't know if, like, they can be played as standalone stories or not.
Yeah, I would think they
My cousin
could,
was
but
really big into those when he was younger, but I never got into them. The only Final Fantasy game that I ever actually played was Final Fantasy 14, the MMO,
yeah.
which I think still like honors the games, the previous games, and some established lore, but I don't know if it actually has anything to do with the MMO.
Diablo Bob says Final Fantasy 11 or death, and he's saying that he wasn't a fan of 6, but I think what he meant was, yeah, I think he meant 14. He put IV before the X, which isn't a thing.
Whoops.
It's 10. It's 10 plus 4, Bob. You're right. It's 10. It's actually
XIV is
10.
correct, yes.
It's 10. It's 10 plus 4, which is 5 minus 1. That's the Roman numeral way. You're right. The second time.
Yeah, why I always wondered how numbers worked in Roman numerals. Like, why would you the I after the V makes it 6, but the I
Right.
before the V makes it 4. So why would you subtract the number before what you're subtracting from?
It's they. I think they decided because 3 would just be 3 I's.
Yeah.
But I think they decided it would be better to be able to write IV than it would be to write 4 I's.
But again, that comes into like larger numbers as well. You like XIV 14 and things like that. Like it seemed unless they were trying to say like if you were reading the numbers out loud, it would be like 10 and 1 from 5. You know,
Right, and the rule only applies. There's the rule only applies if you have one single number subtracted from the next number, so that it's never more than
Yeah,
one. So they
right.
would, so 9 would, 8 is VIII, right?
Mm-hmm.
But 9 is IX.
Right. 1
Yeah,
from 10.
1 from
Yeah.
10, yeah. They were Romans. They had a lot of time. They didn't. I don't know.
They
Who
had
the
to
fuck
come up with
knows?
some shit. They did it. They did it. They came up
They
with a
did
whole
it.
system and we still use it for some reason.
Yeah, it's still used. I was always fascinated all throughout my whole life with movies and television. Television does it more than movies, but at the end of credits, when they put the year, it's always in Roman numerals.
I've never actually watched like television credits. I skip right through those.
Oh
Unless I'm
no,
actually
that's
looking for a specific like actor, actress
yeah.
name, like who the fuck is this? I know
I
this
think if
person.
you I think if you'd lived the life I'd lived, which is, I was in entertainment for 20 years. And then,
Nice.
that becomes a thing you're interested in to see if you can spot friends' names and shit like that.
Oh yeah, I've never been close
But
to
even as a kid,
having
I
a
was I
friend
was
in there.
fascinated. I became fascinated with ending credits when they started putting bloopers at the end of movies.
I will watch certain credits past the like on movies especially at the end of certain movies you could tell like the way that it cut it was insinuating there was like another scene and they'll stick
Yes.
it right at the end.
Yes.
So after
So
all the
Diablo Bob has
credits.
written a number in the chat. I don't know if he meant it to be this number, but he basically wrote the number 1514.
I
Sorry,
think you just
1114 is what that is.
so what a C is
A C is 100.
100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. And then I know that M is 1,000. I know M because
M
it's
is
19
1,000.
something. 1992, 1000 something.
Yeah, and the year 2020 is easy because it's just two M's.
Oh yeah.
2000. Oh no. That's the year
It would be
2000. 2020
it would
would
be
be MMXX.
sounds like a new rating for a television show.
What's that rated? It's rated 2020.
It's rated MMXX. Is that like XXX? No, it's MMXX. No.
That's right. MMXX. What's that adult rating that isn't X? It's called oh, I can't remember it now.
I stopped paying attention to ratings
G,
at teen.
PG, PG-13, R. Fuck! How come I can't remember it? What's the rating, everybody? Bob, I know you know.
Rated oh shit, I know it.
Yeah, I know it too. I'm gonna think of it. I play the game where I go through the alphabet.
Not M for mature.
No, that's
It's
television.
Video game thing. It's a video game thing too. It's rated.
It's like.
Hold on.
You're looking it up, aren't you?
No. Shit. TVMA.
TVMA is TV, yeah. It's NC-17 is what I was trying to come up with.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the fucking
I keep forgetting
God
it has a
damn it.
number in it.
I know it. I've seen it.
Do you know what movie was responsible for PG-13?
Oh hell no! What was it?
I want to say it wasn't Ferris Bueller's Day Off, was it? I think it was Gremlins. Let's see. Hold on.
Gremlins was amazing. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, it was. It was Gremlins. So it was 1984. It was the year I graduated high school. I'm super old. And it was, they rated it PG, and then a lot of parents freaked out and said, no, this PG is not, it's not appropriate. And then and so they were like, but it's not R, and they were like, we need to come up with another rating, so they did. PG.
It's appropriate with approval from your parents if you're under 13.
Right.
Or is it 13 to 18 that they're concerned about?
13
not
to 17.
Not appropriate for under.
Yeah.
Yeah, not appropriate for under 13.
R-rated movie you can go to when you're 17 in the United States.
I had no idea. I was allowed to see R-rated movies every time because my parents would just shrug and say whatever. And as long as my parents said okay, my local people didn't care.
Yeah. I'm almost sure that Die Hard = was R, like hard R.
Oh,
like
yeah.
not for sex, but for violence and language. Die Hard's one of my favorite movies. It is my favorite Christmas movie. If people try to tell you Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, including Mr. Bruce Willis, who tries to say it is not a Christmas movie, that's untrue.
Die Hard is the Christmas movie.
It's the Christmas movie. I watch it every Christmas.
I haven't seen Die Hard in so many years.
Oh yeah, it's such a great movie.
Oh my God, Rob, we should have a movie night.
We should. Hey, speaking of which, you can do that on Twitch, right? But you have to be careful. You have to do certain movies or whatever. But you can.
Anything that has like an open license.
Yeah.
You can show on Twitch, but I don't know. I think there's like a certain program where you can pay for the rights to produce it on Twitch, like to stream it. I have to look into it again. I remember looking.
Yeah, that'd be so fun. I love because when I watch a movie for the first time, I'm one of these psychos that you can't talk to me. I have to be able to fully pay attention. I don't want to. But if you're watching a movie you've seen a million times, yeah. But if you're watching one that you've seen, if you're watching like Star Wars or something you've seen literally 100 times, then it's fun to, we can do that. But yeah, I'd love to do that on Twitch. We should totally do that.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about Twitch though. I was just talking about you and me hanging out in Discord and watching on like Rabbit.
Oh, let's do that then.
Rabbit.
Which one?
Just you and me. Rabbit.
The movie Jojo Rabbit?
No. Like that's the service where you can watch a thing communally.
I had never heard of that. Are you serious?
Oh my, yeah. You can invite people into a session to watch a thing with you. It's kind of like a Netflix, but you can like share the movie.
Oh, wow,
So
I
we
had
can
no
both
idea.
log
Yeah,
in to
oh,
watch
well,
it.
I'd totally be down with that. Again, it would have to be something, because if I haven't seen it, I don't want to hear.
Maybe you have to pick the movie then.
Yeah. Rabbit, how am I not
See,
knowing about
Diablo
this?
knows.
I gotta
Diablo
look at
Bot
I gotta
knows
look at
Rabbit.
this. So you can, let's see, Rabbit. I'm just gonna type in Rabbit. Rabbit movie service.
I think it's actually like rabb.it or some shit.
rabb.it, yes.
Yeah.
Rabbit.
Die Hard Night. Oh, that would be some shit. Just have a
Aw,
Die
yeah.
Hard Night.
That'd be fun. Die Hard Night.
But yeah.
All
I
right.
used to do Rabbit with my Twitch community where we would like log into Discord and my subscribers and I would sit down and watch a movie. We'd have movie night together.
Well, that might be a thing.
Yeah, you should definitely check into that if you
Die
if you're
Hard
into it.
Night. And would people be on headset and talk during the movie and say, "Hey, this is
Just log into Discord, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that seems awesome. 1, 2, and 3. Die Hard 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Die Hard binge night is what he's talking about. I went to Lord of the Rings night.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's only 9 hours.
Only. Not long enough in my world. My D&D games go 9 hours on a good day.
All of a sudden, the follow notifications from days past are popping up on the screen. I don't know why that's happening now, but all these people followed like while the stream wasn't happening.
Were you big into Overwatch? Those are like the old Overwatch alerts, right?
This was something that I found on Stream Elements when I first started streaming, and I've just never changed it because I thought it looked cool.
It follows the same like layout format and the color scheme of
Overwatch?
yeah, but some service released the Overwatch alerts. It was the same people that did all of the fucking popular shit that is now on Streamlabs. Not owned. It wasn't owned. It was
Oh, is it Muxy?
Mm-mm.
Because I think these are Muxy alerts. MUXY. That's what I have it in the OBS as. But I have never played Overwatch. That's right, I said it.
That's okay. Nerd or Die. That's what it was. Nerd or Die.
Oh,
Twitch
Nerd or
alerts on
Die.
Nerd or
Yeah,
Die.
I used some of their stuff for my banners. You know, below the stream. I used buttons. Yeah, I Nerd or Die. I did that.
If you look on Nerd or Die, I think they're the ones that did the Overwatch alerts, and that's what your pop-up alerts.
Oh, maybe maybe so. Because that's been like 4 years ago. I don't even remember.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they released those. It still looks good. Looks good.
Looks good. Yeah, it was really weird that they just started populating. How you doing there? It looks it was funny that they just started populating right then. Usually what happens is when I start OBS, they all flash in there because it saves them up. When people subscribe or when people follow the channel and I'm not streaming, it saves them all up. And then when I start OBS, it slams them in there until it's done. And usually that's before I even start streaming, but they just started happening. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
So, is Robin into Lord of the Rings and this Harry Potter, or what is the deal with that?
So Robin absolutely hates her most hated movie is Princess Bride. I know that, and we all make fun of her for it. Yeah, we don't understand. But yes, she does like. I think she likes Lord of the Rings, and I'm assuming she likes Harry Potter. I either don't know if she does or can't remember what she said if I answer that. You know, because
I won't tell on you. You totally know everything she's ever told you. You remember.
Yeah, right. I totally remember everything.
What's your favorite color? What color are her eyes?
Don't know and don't know.
What's your favorite type of shoe?
I don't know that either. Yeah, that's sad that I don't know what color her eyes are.
What's your natural hair color?
Brown.
Oh.
Near as I can tell.
Holy Grail.
Oh, she doesn't like Holy Grail either. Yeah, she's weird.
Is it just those movies that she doesn't like?
Yeah, well, first of all, she doesn't really watch that many movies, she confesses to me at some point. and then we were trying to recommend good movies, like, you got to see The Godfather, you got to see this, you got to see that, and some of the gotta sees were ones that she had seen and fucking hated. Like, she didn't say
Wow.
she hated Holy Grail. She hates Princess Bride.
Interesting.
Like she'll snap a motherfucker's neck if she has to watch Princess Bride.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
she didn't say she hated Holy Grail. She just said she didn't see its appeal the same way most people who've seen it do, and of course these.
Oh, I feel a lot about about a lot of different movies though.
Yeah, those two movies in particular though are ripe for quoting things from it to nerds and shit, right? So
Oh,
she's
for
missing
sure.
out on a whole thing. As
Double
you
chapstick.
wish. She couldn't get past the
Okay.
llamas. That's right. Bob does remember everything Robin says. If you want to know what Robin said,
Aw.
ask Diablo Bob. He remembers it all. He knows. I just can't remember.
If you're looking
If
for me,
somebody
I've lost my
says
chapstick.
if somebody says things to me like I love you or you owe me $50,000 or shit like that, those things I remember. But
You can
little
pay me $50,000 to say I love you.
No, I'm gonna forget that. I'm gonna forget it. What are you looking for? What is happening?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's nothing.
Nothing to see here. It's your hair. It's all your hair. I remember that you have
Back
really
to you
long
in the
hair.
studio. I sure do.
I remember that because you showed it one time and I was freaking out. I was like, "Holy Jesus!"
Nobody ever forgets the hair once they've seen it.
Yeah, it's mine though. It's funny
It's due
if
for
I
a
sit
wash right now.
just right,
Okay.
it looks like the hair is extending off the side of my head, but it's something in the background.
Oh, because of the towel or
Yeah,
the
there's
blanket.
a blanket back there.
How cute.
That's a blanket that my healthcare company gave me, and
Is
I
it a
didn't know
good
what to do with
blanket?
it, so I threw it on top of this this item holder that I have here, and this item
Oh, good.
holder is a trampoline that I just don't use.
Why do you have a trampoline?
Not a trampoline that you're thinking of, like someone's backyard where you jump up and look at the neighbor's
like an
yard.
exercise trampoline,
It's
right?
just a walking, yeah, like you walk like that. But
Yeah.
I don't use it because I'm lazy. I don't know. Is that the right word?
Are you lazy?
It's funny. I'll say to a friend, "Oh, I'm such a lazy person," and they'll go, "Yeah, you crank out DM's Guild materials 16 hours a day and do streams." And then they'll just start rattling off all the shit that I do, and they'll go, "Yeah, you're super lazy, Rob." And I'll go, "Yeah, I guess I do some stuff."
You do stuff, just not physical,
Exercise,
like
right?
get your heart pumping stuff.
I make mugs.
Very nice
Yeah.
ones. I have Ann mug sitting around somewhere.
You
Not
have
right
N
now.
mug? Ooh, I also have
Ann mug.
I have the magic elixir here. Let's do a little commercial for Gatorade. It's the magic elixir.
Got you beat, love.
I'm not being paid by them.
Aren't you? I used to. I don't know if nobody in your chat probably remembers if uh Benai UK was here or somebody, they would probably remember. But I used to have a photo of me holding up a monster can, and now I'm on Team Red Bull. So.
Are they paying you, Team Red Bull?
Oh fuck no.
Oh, okay.
Do I seem like I have 50 million subscribers? No.
Well, you said you were on Team Red Bull. I thought that sounded pretty impressive.
No, I used to be this person, and now I'm this person.
I missed it, but Bob said the trampoline is for my escorts. Which is why it doesn't get used. It has a bunch of stuff on it.
We gotta find you an escort to jump on the trampoline.
Right? Knock, knock, knock. Hi, Rob. I'm Tina. Oh, come on in. Hold on. Let me clear off this trampoline. Yeah, hold on. We didn't discuss anything about a trampoline.
Oh my god, oh no. I told you that I work at a hotel, yeah?
Yeah.
I had an interesting, I'm not saying any names, so this is technically
I love you, man.
The other day, 2 days ago, as a matter of fact, check in, and they were, young party people. I figured they were eager to get out of the house and like hang out somewhere,
Right.
which was cool. But they wound up checking out early, and they seemed like they left in a rush. They were a little bit of a mess. I figured, they either something came up or the room wasn't what they wanted or they changed to plans or something. Whatever it was, fine. Get the fuck out, kids.
Right.
They were barely old enough to buy the room in the first place. So they left. Like an hour after they left, it was 2 guys and 2 girls. One of the girls calls me on the phone and says, "We left something in our room. Can we come back and get it?" And I said, "Well, technically, I'm not allowed to let you back in the room because you've checked out and, it might be in whatever state now, but you might go in there and trash it, and we've already charged you. So I can't
Right.
let you back in the room, but if you tell me what it is, I can hold it at the front desk and you can come pick it up." Not a big deal,
Right.
not
I
a problem
can't
at all.
wait. Here we go.
So she seems to be talking to her friend. I can't really hear what's going on, and then they hang up on me out of nowhere. I figured, okay, well, maybe they just don't want to come all the way back if they,
Yeah, it's like a
you
phone
know,
charger or whatever. Just fuck it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's whatever. So an hour later, the other girl calls me back and says they left something in their room. Can they come back and pick it up? And I said, I mean, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told your friend. I can't let you guys back in the room because you've already been charged for the fee. And if you do anything to it, now we don't have anything on file to charge you any additional damages
Right.
that might occur. Not to say that you would, but we can't
Right.
let you back in. So she deliberates with her friend, and I figured they were going to hang up on me again. But she gets back on the phone and she was like, "All right, so if you want to go into the room and get what we left, what you're looking for is some cash that we left and my medical marijuana."
Yeah.
PA doesn't do a lot of medical
Yeah.
marijuana.
They are drug dealers. These kids.
Yes. Or, well, drug consumers more likely. But
Who leaves cash behind? That's crazy.
why would you call the front desk about your pot stash? First off, if
Um.
you left it, consider that shit gone because it's if you don't have documentation, a prescription bottle that
Right.
it would be in, then it's illegal and I'm supposed to call the cops on you. Why would you call me and tell me that you've left pot in
Oh,
your
so you're
fucking
like the
room?
hospital. You're obligated to report crimes and whatever.
I mean, it comes down to the individual.
I
I've
thought you were
known
gonna say,
house.
I mean, if some of that cash were to accidentally get into my pocket, I wouldn't have to call anybody. But yeah.
No, I'm not that person, but like
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn somebody in over a dime bag of weed when you could go to a doctor and say I have anxiety, give me a prescription.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, "All right, you have anxiety? Here you go."
Yeah.
Anybody with a nervous tick can get pot. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to narc on you for a dime bag of weed. But why would you call the front desk not knowing who I am or what my mentality on the subject is like? I could be like fucking, what do they call those? Razor, what do they fucking call those people?
I don't know what you're talking about. Edgers? I don't know what.
Clean edge, something. I don't know.
I'm
There's
positive. I can't wait to find out what you're talking about because I do not know.
there's like super clean lifestyle, no drugs, no
Oh,
booze, no medicine. Like
teetotalers.
I don't know what
Um,
it's called.
prudes. I don't know.
Yeah, basically. but like they're hardcore,
Religious people.
borderline.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
gonna call. I'm gonna have you put
but like
away.
I could be that person. I could be like, "All right, you left pot in your room. Call the cops right now. I have your fucking credit card and shit right here. I know where you live. I will send
Ah,
them
but
to
you just
you."
told us you didn't have our credit card and you couldn't charge us. You just said that.
I can't I don't have access to charge a card again,
Oh,
but
okay.
I do have the name that was on your card, the last 4 digits, and the expiration date on file. I also have your driver's license, or at least
Straight edge, was
somebody's.
that the phrase you were looking for?
Straight edge, that's the one. Thank you. Straight edge.
George Orr calls it.
But like you don't know who I am from Eve. I could be that person. Why would you call the front desk and ask me to go up and get it? So I on the phone I'm like, "All right, so you're serious? You want me to go get your pot and hold it to the front desk for you?" They were like, yeah. I was like, all right, so no.
Well, so typically what would
But
happen if nothing was done, the maids would find it, and what would
and then
they do?
probably take it home.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably take it home to smoke it. And I
And
wouldn't know any the wiser because there
and
are no
tell
cameras
their
inside
tell their
rooms.
significant other and their children or whoever, "Hey, I got a big raise today in cash, and it was in this bag right here."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
or
money
not
was
tell
with the
your
pot.
family. That's right.
None of my business. None of my business. I don't clean the rooms. Whatever happens in there is between the housekeepers and the guests.
For a period of a little while, about a year and a half, I was a hotel inspector. I was the franchisee that came and made sure you had everything up to code and did the white glove test and all that. So
Oh.
I've spent many a night in a hotel when I did that job.
What's your experience with the Hampton Inn?
None. I worked for a company called Hospitality Franchise Systems, and they owned the franchising rights to Ramada Super 8, Howard Johnson, Roadway Inn, and I want to say there's one more which we never got to really go to, but anyway. But it was mainly Ramada's and Howard Johnson's were the most of what I would go to.
I figure Ramada has a good reputation for cleanliness. They'd probably
Yeah.
have inspectors most often.
But they you're the most hated person when you show up to these places because you tell them something like, "Oh, you're gonna need to resurface your parking lot," and then you're saying, "Bye 50 grand," and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then next guy comes and they haven't done it, grade goes down one, and then pretty soon they lose their franchise. So they a lot of people don't understand when you're going to a hotel and paying $80 or $100 a night. That's nothing.
You don't want to.
They have so much expenses, these people.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Fuck. The coronavirus
Yeah, exactly.
and the shutdown of business, like.
Oh, that must just be killing everybody. Yeah, there's not. I mean, you have to have turnover. You have to have occupancy, and if you don't,
yeah. And like we've gotten to the point where we're like giving people the cheapest rates for like the higher rooms. Like we are giving away like the king study suites for like a queen bed room.
Right.
Like
just to get people.
We need you to be here, please. Come stay.
Yes.
We will make it work. Please be our guest.
Yeah. Yep, it was fascinating to me, that whole hotel business. I started in reservations, and then I went to customer service, and then I got promoted out into the field as an inspector, and then that job was the job I quit to go into comedy.
Nice. It's a good. It's a smooth transition. I can see where that happened.
My mother at the time, I called her up on the phone and I said, I'm going to quit my corporate paying job to become a stand-up comedian and an actor. And she didn't even hesitate. She goes, I support you. And then I said the word financially, and she said, absolutely not.
Yeah, I support you. Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, click. Right.
I don't like. I don't think I ever could have made that risk. That's a bold decision that you made for your life.
Yes, a lot of the things that I did in my life were risky. Some paid off, some did not.
Did that one pay off in the short term?
I mean, in its own way, it did. But I mean, I basically.
It gave you some experiences.
Yeah, I mean, I had fun, but it was basically 15 years of traveling around and worrying every single day of the month that started with a 2 and had 2 digits in it, how I was going to pay my rent in the next when that came to the number 1 the next month. Yeah. And magically every single time I never missed a rent payment, but I always every month was panicking, how was I going to get this rent?
Well, if you were traveling around, what rent were you paying? Did you have like
So that's the big joke is I lived in a 300 square foot apartment in Los Angeles that I was never in, and I drove all around the Western United States doing comedy to gather money to bring back to Los Angeles to pay for an apartment that I was never in. It was, I mean, when I say never, I'm being hyperbolic, but it was really
Right.
crazy. Yeah, it was just super crazy. It was fun, but it's a young man's game, and if you don't become a celebrity, if you don't become someone who your name is on everybody's lips, it's time
Yeah.
to get out. Now, I got out because I got sick.
Mm.
My life circumstances dealt me the card of get out, so it just sort of happened, but it was probably the right time anyway. But now
That's harsh, though.
now I
But
got
at
what I'm
least you
doing.
have those memories.
I
You
do.
have those
And I still have a lot of
experiences.
comedian friends, and I know a couple famous
Cool.
people, and still in contact with a few of them, but it's just, phone calls every
Nice.
6 months. I don't really, they all live in Los Angeles. I don't hang out with them. No one's
Right.
coming to my house in Spokane, which is the problem, which brings us back, Meta, to the full circle at the beginning of the show
Oh.
where I'm talking about hiring escorts. Oh, guys, if you just tuned in, you missed it. Yeah. So what about you?
What about me? Oh boy. I've had some experiences throughout my life. I decided when I was 15 to start dating a guy on the internet. Like we had an internet relationship for a few years. I wound up with a cyst in my right breast and a cancer scare at the age of 17.
Damn!
Um, so I met my online boyfriend for the first time when I was 17 because he came to support me in person when I had my surgery. And then I decided that I was in love with this man and I was going to move away with him. So I ran away from home at 17.
At 7, oh my god, this is so awesome.
I ran away from home at 17. I moved to Nevada. and I lived in Nevada for a while.
Wow.
And it turned out that the man that I had fallen in love with, who I trusted implicitly, wasn't anything at all like he presented to be on the internet. Can you fucking believe it?
Wow! Lesson learned.
So we made it another 2 years. I was 19 by the time I
Is
finally
this the
found a
Rob?
point. No, that wasn't Rob. This was Ron.
Oh, Ron, yeah. Guys with R names, man, you want to watch out.
So I was with Ron for a couple of years, and I wound up in a position where actually I had to go to a hospital, and that
Oh,
after
goodness.
it was
Yeah.
at that point. It was at that point where I was like, all right,
Well, I'm so
I
sorry
guess
that
it's
happened to you.
time to run home to mom.
I would like to congratulate you for doing what most don't, which is get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah. As hard as it may
Yeah.
seem that's the right thing to do. Hey, I want to go back just a little bit. This is what you said to me. I met a guy on the internet when
Yeah.
I was 15 whom
Yeah.
I'd had a relationship with on the internet for years, which is at least 2. So 13 or 12 is when you met him on the internet?
I met him when I was 15. I had the online relationship until I was 17.
Ah, okay, there we go. I was gonna
And
get.
then I met him when I was 17. I was like,
what
that's
chat
a little
room
too
is
far.
this? Holy shit!
It was a little bit too far.
Yeah. What was that? Like a chat room or what? How did you?
Fixing my focus, if you're
Yeah, I
wondering
know, I
what
saw.
that hand thing is.
You were very blurry. I thought, oh my god, I'm losing my sight.
That was a long story, and I'm not going to go into
All
where I
right,
met
that's
him on
fine.
the internet. I don't want to promote that sort of risky behavior by
You
by
don't want to
young
talk
women.
about. You don't want to talk about your internet relationship on the internet. That would be crazy.
Yeah. It wasn't Twitch or anything.
I know a
swear.
guy. Okay, so I have a friend. You'll like this. I have a friend. His name is Carl. He met Carl with a K. He met his wife on a sex phone line,
Cool.
and he was talking to her or whatever, and he became like a repeat customer to her, and
Yeah.
they would talk so often that they started not doing sexy talk anymore. They just started, hey, how was your day today? And then started just like becoming friends.
Cool.
And he met her in real life and is still married to her today. This was like 30 years ago.
That's out.
Isn't that crazy?
Is outstanding.
He married
Wow.
his sex
phone service
worker. And by the way, this woman's like 350 pounds or whatever.
I
But
mean, if
they
he's
were in
into
love.
it.
He didn't. It ultimately became where that didn't matter what she looked like,
Yeah, wow. That
And
is a deep connection.
they have kids and everything. Yeah. So.
Wow, 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 wow. Well, to be fair, my current husband, yes, I'm married. I met him on the internet too.
Did you really?
I didn't learn my lesson.
Well, you didn't marry the
Yeah,
first guy though.
no, I almost did. We were engaged.
Wow.
Yeah, made that mistake.
I have never been married. I don't plan on getting married. I am totally down. If some lady, it should preferably be a female.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, lady. That's right, ladies. I am totally down with a committed relationship for 40 years. That's not a problem. I just don't want to sign any paperwork. That's my thing. I don't want to sign any state paperwork. Just not into it. I know that's super romantic for me to say that, but no.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. My husband and I probably never would have gotten married if it wasn't for the tax break.
Yeah, I don't.
He's laughing in the other room.
He can hear you.
Yes.
That's right, honey. Taxes. Yeah.
Taxes, baby, taxes. He made me sign a prenup.
Does your husband do like gaming and stuff or no?
Oh God, no, he hates video games.
That is somehow like super amazing to me. I love it.
Which is even funnier because he's an IT nerd. He's
Yeah,
a computer
well,
nerd who hates video games.
so right, but there's a lot of like my best friend in life, like that I've known since we were like 6 years old. He's he doesn't hate video games, but he's not into it. Like he's never played D&D. I've known this guy since 1972, and he's never
Yeah.
played D&D. He doesn't really he doesn't hate video games, but he's just not really into it. But yeah, his whole life since college was all about computers, and he worked for IBM for 20 years, and
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think for guys like that, it's their job, and then they come home and it's like the computer can go away, right? Because all
That
day
could
they're
probably be it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that and it's a whole different experience from like solving the puzzle of how to make something work and then like, okay, I guess I'm gonna move to the right on the screen now.
Yeah, yeah. Probably video games is insulting to people like them.
No. I did recently. I finally found a video game that he enjoyed enough to play through to the end. With me, of course. He didn't
Tetris,
want to play it alone.
Pong.
No. Unraveled 2.
Oh, I don't know that game. Is it a puzzly?
It's like a teamwork puzzle game. It's like two little yarn dudes who are tied together and you sort of have to work together to navigate a platformer style thing.
Oh yeah, I like that kind of
It's
stuff.
super cute. It's super cute. You have to like pull each other up and swing across platforms in order to catch onto like ledges and stuff. It's so cute. It's the most adorable thing.
There you go. Hey, Julius Pepperswood just followed, but didn't.
What?
That's another phantom.
But didn't. But
Yeah,
didn't,
probably
though.
followed like on Monday. Who knows? Or whenever the last time I streamed. I can't remember. What is it? What is this? Wednesday? So
Yes, it is.
the last stream was
I
Saturday.
know that answer.
It is Wednesday. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I don't know what that hell damn day it is. Actually, the only reason I
usually
know,
don't.
the only reason I ever know what day it is because I have to keep track of do I have a stream that day. Otherwise, I would have no clue what day it is because I never watch anything. I never watch anything on television live. I record everything and watch it later. So the schedule doesn't mean anything to me unless I have something to do, like this.
Do you have cable? Do you have like television service?
I do. I've tried to cut the cord like about 5 times and not have cable service. But
Mhm.
there's a couple things that they have that are proprietary. Like the biggest one is, I know I'm super old. I have cable. I don't have a landline though. I don't have one.
I do. I have a landline.
You're clearly not as old as me. So one of the things that Xfinity has that you can't get if you cut the cord is football game highlights. So you can record an entire football game, and then you can watch only the important plays. So you can watch a whole football game in like 15 minutes. And you will still be able to talk to anybody who watched the game about the cool shit that happened, right? And so that's a really big thing that I can't give up. And
I think that's the difference between you and me. I'm not a sports fan. I
yeah,
have no need for any of that shit.
yeah, I wish I didn't. I mean, I have
Are
no.
you
I'm not
Are
a
you like a sports fan?
I mean, I like that there is sports. I'm a giant football fan, more so one particular team. But I don't really follow baseball or basketball or hockey. Now I might be the guy who would like watch the World Series, but I wouldn't watch any regular baseball probably. But I mean, I've been to professional hockey game. I've been to professional baseball games. I had season tickets to the Phoenix Suns for 1 year when I lived in Phoenix. I had season tickets, and that's
what kind
amazing.
Of sport is the Phoenix Suns?
Phoenix Suns are a basketball team.
Basketball. See, if I ever had to watch a team sport of a kind, it would probably be basketball. Don't ask me why, but of all the things to watch, that's probably the most entertaining to me.
So here's what I recommend to people about in-life sports. Football is amazing on television and absolutely fucking blows in person. It's fun to go to say that you did it and to be there. Like I went to a Seahawks game last year with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
But basketball is amazing in person. And it's okay on television. Hockey I don't really have, and then baseball is just boring as fuck in person and on television.
I don't know how anybody can watch baseball. Like, I get that there's, like, skill. There's real skill in how fast to throw, hit, run. There's skill in it. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. I don't understand how anybody could spectate that like it was actually fun.
Yeah, so...
Like, it might be okay to play, but how could anybody watch that and think it's fun? Because it's like 90% of the game is waiting for something to happen.
Right, but most of it, I think football has a certain aspect of this as well, but baseball for sure. I think the reason people really like baseball, people who are baseball fans, it's the strategy. Because it's not just throwing pitches and did they hit it or didn't they hit it. It's who do you want to try to let hit it? It's who don't you absolutely want to hit it? Who should we have on base? If we've got this situation, what should we do? Should we change a guy out? There's a whole fucking shitload of strategy with it, and I think that's what intrigues people. And
I get that especially for football. I understand like really playing the odds for what player has what strengths and what plays would play off of which team combination, and like I get that for football. For baseball, I guess I just don't see as much of it because
it's a mental even the Spinator, is that your name? He even said it was a mental game. And then Diablo Bob is making a comment about NASCAR, which is drive really fast and turn left. Like that's not even a sport to me. Now people will argue with you. People get actually pretty fucking upset if you make fun of NASCAR. But just take a look at who you're talking to when they're mad. If somebody's mad at you because you're dissing NASCAR, chances are high their name is Cletus and they live in a southern state. I'm just giving you the facts. But someone said, a famous sportscaster was quoted as saying, "It's not a sport unless it has a referee involved." So baseball, hockey, football, basketball, they all have referees or umpires. NASCAR, no, it's just a bunch of cars.
I don't think that motorsports are sports.
Yeah, I agree. I don't.
Not to say that I don't enjoy watching NASCAR, because I do. I like NASCAR. I'm not going to get mad if anybody else doesn't like it, and I'm not going to get mad that it's not a sport. A sport to me is something that requires a physical prowess of some kind.
Well, it's said that race car drivers do have to be pretty good shape to be able to pull that off.
Well, yeah, because they're using hand-eye coordination. They're
also upper body strength.
Focus.
Yeah,
there's that, and then they're maintaining focus for hours and hours and hours on end during the race with no break or very little break in between. And it can get strenuous. I get it, but like,
it's just not a sport.
It's still not your body doing all of the work. Like, are you running that race? Because I watch a foot race all day. I watch some people
Well,
race.
the thing about a foot race, Meta, is that it does take all day to watch that. It's
yes, it does.
a marathon.
Yes,
it takes like 4 hours. Yeah. Now people are getting crazy. Remember earlier when I said we shouldn't talk about sports? People are getting crazy now.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
But
Let's talk
and,
about
and
food,
actually
though.
we can talk about sports. It's just if you start saying things about certain teams and your fandom, then it might get out of hand. People get crazy.
Like the Cleveland Browns,
No, I said
the
teams, real
the
teams.
Eagle. Oh, okay. The who's Philadelphia Eagles?
Eagles,
Is
yeah.
that them? Yeah, I like the Eagles. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's apparently my home team. I like the Patriots. That's a team I know.
No, fuck the New England Patriots, those fucking bastards. That's the
I
team I
like
hate
their
the worst.
symbol and their colors. Their symbol and their colors is nice. I like it.
Do you remember their
Very
old symbol?
the
The
head?
No, the Patriots' original symbol was a guy bent over the ball, hiking the ball, and he had a helmet on. It was like a cartoon. Yeah, you should look it up.
Nope.
It's crazy.
Yeah, interesting. I like their current symbol, the symbol of just like the streak head.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks like an
legit.
alien or something. Yeah.
Kind of. I think it's insinuating that he's like going so fast or something that he's like a blur.
Yeah, the insinuation is that they cheat so much they have to run away so fast. Now you're gonna think of that every time you see that. You're welcome.
I
Oh my god.
I don't know. I'm not a sports fan. I don't watch any sports. I don't get into playing sports. I played football once. Went to the hospital, tore a muscle in my back.
What the fuck? You went
I was playing street football.
How old
Don't
were
ask me how
you?
you I don't know, like
I mean,
13,
kid. Oh, so
14.
kid. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I tried to me being exactly the same size now as I was then. I'm 4'11" and somewhere between 95 and 105 pounds.
I
I
like that we
tried
don't
to
know exactly what that number is. It's somewhere.
it's somewhere in the middle depending on how much I ate that day. But
So
like
you're a person who weighs 100 pounds whose weight fluctuates 5 pounds in a day. That's insane. I love it.
yeah, I mean it goes up and down. I don't it also depends on the scale and how wet I might be.
Right. Did you come out of the hair with that or the shower with that hair or not? Has
Did
it
I come out
dry?
of that hair?
Yeah. Did you come out of
Did
the hair
I?
with that shower? How come my camera doesn't focus like that, like yours does? What is cause?
Mine is trying to autofocus on I think my microphone.
Oh,
I think it's trying to get because my microphone is like in front of my face and it's
that's a good place to
fixing.
have it. I keep thinking I have this giant mark on my face, but no, it's the shadow of my. I just muted.
I look better this way.
There you go. That's what Robin does. I can't ever talk to her because she's. Hey, so Rob, I'm wondering. This other thing I was gonna. Well, here I'll just mouth it to you so you can read my lips.
Okay, great.
Yeah, he does. I
This
don't
is
use
where I
that.
live.
I actually have two. I did this before on Dave's show. I showed both my. I have two mics. I don't know. I don't use them. I had a
I
whole
have
plan for my setup. I don't even use my lights or anything in here. When I built my studio, I thought, oh, this is going to be the great. Oh, snap. Is that an Oculus?
Yes, it is.
Yes, I don't have one of those. Yeah, maybe if I had a.
If you get one, I will so whoop your ass in every multiplayer thing. No.
Probably. That's a good incentive for me to get one is that you'll just kick my ass in every game we ever play. Also, I think if I got one of those, hey, it's Robin. Yeah, when I got behind the mic. I think if I got one of those, I might not need to call an escort because don't they have?
They
Sure.
do. It's very bad.
You've
It's
tried
very
it.
bad. Yes, yes, I have.
Oh,
Like it feels very awkward and disconnected to like
that's what I'm looking for,
obviously
Meta. Awkward and disconnected. I'm just kidding. That's a little joke. Now you know all there is to know about me.
That's all I needed to know.
That's all you
Sign me
want to
up,
know.
baby.
You want to know? Take some of that back. You wish I didn't say it. What else? Hey guys, is there anything in chat? No. Is there anybody in chat that wants us to talk about a certain specific subject before we? Oh my God, we've been an hour and 20 minutes. That flew by. That did not seem like an hour. That Meta and I can.
I was gonna say I do have a penchant for making people forget the last few hours of their life. No,
Now that just to me sounds like you're drugging me with some memory. You're putting something
you
in my
wouldn't know.
drink. Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
That's right. You did do that. Am I? What is in this? How did you do that? All right. Nobody's
The only way I
responding.
can
So.
get people to give me attention.
Oh my God. I'll talk to you whenever you want.
Oh, sweet.
Prom date advice. Okay, here's my prom date advice. My prom date advice is don't. First of all, let me just say I did not go to prom, so take this with
Okay.
that information. Don't make prom the event of your life to remember. Don't treat it that way. You're not getting married. You're not having a child. It's fucking prom. That's my advice. Was that even advice? I don't even know. What's your advice?
Let me start by saying I didn't go to prom either. As a matter of fact, I didn't even graduate high school. I think if I was going to give somebody prom advice, it would be to take your best friend. Don't treat it like a date.
Boom! That's a good one.
Take your best friend because you will have so much more fun just enjoying time with the people you already enjoy time with rather than trying to pressure yourself into making it that night
Yeah.
with like I'm gonna lose my virginity tonight, or we're gonna go to the next step, or we're gonna like cement our relationship. Don't do that shit.
Take your best friend
Just
and lose your virginity, then we'll see what happens. Don't go to prom online, Bob says. Yeah, sometimes you don't have a choice. Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
what platform
What
for meta what?
what platform do you play? Yeah, I'm not sure he typed that right. What? Well, I know he didn't type it right. What did you mean to say, Bob? What platform for Meta play D&D on? Do you know?
All of those.
Does he
Oh,
mean like Fantasy Grounds? Is that what he's asking? I don't even know.
If I do play D&D, it's generally on Fantasy Grounds, yes. I tried to play D&D in Tabletop Simulator once. Oof, don't do that.
No,
That's a bad time.
that's
A
my
bad
advice
time.
for prom. Don't play D&D and TTS. My
Tabletop
phone
Simulator is
sucks.
bad.
He's on his phone.
My advice for prom is play D&D at prom.
Yes, and she does use Fantasy Grounds. Yes.
Yes, I do. I do use Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy Grounds is my jam. As a matter of fact, I argue with people on the internet about how they should not bother with Roll20 anymore because Fantasy Grounds exists. So go there. Go try that.
Yeah, and it's funny. Fantasy Grounds has been around longer than Roll20, but it wasn't good like 10 years ago. It is now.
Yeah.
It got good when Doug and John took over, which was
Fantasy
10 years
Grounds
ago.
is looked down on as something less than Roll20 because Roll20 is in a browser and it's free, and people don't realize that you can play for free with anybody that owns Fantasy Grounds. So
Right.
It's a whole thing.
Also, Roll20 is not free if you want to DM with any amount of stuff that you have. It's like it's actually
Isn't
it's
it?
$100 a year. It's Fantasy Grounds is $140 one time for life,
Yeah.
and then Roll20 is $99 a year if you want to do all their fancy stuff. Yeah.
Jesus.
People don't get that.
Who the fuck?
Right.
Who the fuck would pay that? Fantasy Grounds has a subscription service too, but it's pretty cheap, right? It's like
It's
$10
$4
a
a month
shit?
for
$4 a month.
$4 a month for the regular license and $10 a month for the ultimate.
That's it for
Yeah.
the ultimate. Yep, that's what it was. I have Fantasy Grounds Ultimate.
Yeah, me too.
As a purchase. So
yeah, me too. Of course, I think all the people on the network do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I never would have found out about Fantasy Grounds if it wasn't for Twitch, because I was looking at playing a game many, many years ago when I first started streaming, and one of my friends, his Twitch name was he was talking about he was in contact with Fantasy Grounds people about trying to get like a discount code for his group because he would be streaming and advertising it, and I was like, you know what, what the fuck are you talking about? I've never heard of Fantasy Grounds. So I looked it up and I was like, aha.
Yeah, I think I discovered it Well, so it's the story's a little fuzzy because my friend here that I live in town with told me about Roll20, and I didn't really look into it that much. I just knew that it existed. But I did go on, like, I typed in Google, like, play D&D online or something like that. And of course, you find the video games, you find DDO and all this other stuff. And then I saw, what's this Fantasy Grounds? And I saw like an image of dice rolling in the chat or something. I'm like, what's this? And I clicked on their video that's on like the front page of their website. And I was like, holy fuck, what in the fuck? Yes.
Yes.
And I went, and I've told this story many times. I went and I was just in right away. And I'm like, okay, how much is it? Type, get everything. And I bought I bought Fantasy Grounds Ultimate License and all the 5th edition books that they had at the time. So it was a few $100. And
I have
the
quite
next
a bit of
day,
content that I've never even used.
what haven't you used?
I have licenses in Fantasy Grounds for different modules and books and things that I've never even used.
Me too. I just buy everything.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I bought all that shit and it was like $300 or whatever it was at the time. And 12 hours later, it all went on sale for like half. And I was like,
I remember you telling that
fuck.
story.
Yeah, I think I told that on the stream. Yeah. So they gave me a refund and then I repurchased everything at the discounted price.
That was super cool of them, though.
Yeah, well, and that's why, I ended up getting to know Doug and playing in a game with him and sort of became friendly with him. And then he hired me to be the social media guy. So I'm totally tied into that company now.
A lot of the people on the team are related to Fantasy Grounds in a business sense, right? Because I know that you and DM Dave are both employed by them.
Yeah, so Dave is a full employee. He works for them. I'm a subcontractor, so I'm not an employee per se, but I'm a contractor. And then I know Schmo has done conversions, Drake has done conversions, Marbania has done conversions.
I think Benai UK is working on one as a trial to see if he can or something.
Maybe, yeah, because that's one of those things where becoming a developer for Fantasy Grounds is one of those things where there's not a process, there's not a step-by-step way to do it. It's like, how do comedians get on, Late Night with Seth Meyers? There's not a step-by-step. It just happens. You just
be funny.
You go out there, you work, you be funny, and then maybe they'll invite you. So that's kind of how. But there's probably about 120 or 150 even developers for Fantasy Grounds.
That's
and
awesome.
none of them are. But as far as employees, they only have like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Dave, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But
what is it? George Orr says it always frustrates me when comparisons are made to the automation isn't put in front and center. Oh yeah, with Roll20, yeah, exactly.
I don't actually know how Roll20 works anymore. I haven't looked at Roll20 since I discovered Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah,
like, I used to play on Roll20. I used to be in games on Roll20, and we would like go 2 or 3 times a week onto the website and play the game. And like, I always felt disconnected from it. Something about the interface makes it feel like I'm looking at a fucking website.
Yeah.
And I'm not actually connected to the game at all. It's just data and tables.
I think a lot of people who the problem with Fantasy Grounds is people get overwhelmed immediately and then they just give up right away. Like they don't know what Fantasy Grounds College is. They just they're left to the they're in their house and they're like, fuck, I don't know how to use this. Fuck this. And that's a shame because almost any person who does learn how to use it and then starts using it and playing with it, I've never even heard of one person who got into Fantasy Grounds and played a couple games and learned how to use it that then said, you know what, this is shit, I'm out of here. I've never even heard one person say that.
Yeah, once somebody actually sits down with it and figures it out for themselves, it's kind of like you fall in love with it.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it that you can hate.
I agree. And also, as of this video, which is May 20th, 2020, Fantasy Grounds Unity is still in beta, so don't get crazy, everybody. Still in beta.
Speaking of, nuts. They've already released updates for that, right?
Well, that's the thing. See, so since I work with, since I have all these like 300 DMs Guild titles, I'm getting emails and private messages all day, every day. Does this work in Unity? Can I use this in Unity? And I have to explain to them, It will all eventually work in Unity. It might not work today, and the reverse of that is it might work right now, but in 10 minutes it might not work because they make updates to that thing every fucking day.
Yeah, I was noticing, like, every time I look at Unity, which is probably like once every 2 or 3 weeks, like there's a new update for it.
Yeah,
I
multiple
have to
times a day they update that thing.
Yeah, I
And
don't keep up with it that
right,
much,
and
but
that's the thing I'm trying to educate the world about is don't keep up with it. It's a beta it's in beta, like it's not fully released. They let it out to the public so you could tinker with it and help to find things that might need tweaking or whatever. But people
Yeah.
are like, I want this to work now. It's like, well, we all do, but it's in beta. Like, does anybody understand what beta means? Like, it's not
yeah,
a final
like
release.
log in, check it out, tinker around with it, see what you like, see what you don't like, give some feedback, and then check back in a couple of weeks. You know,
Exactly.
they're working on it. They're working on it. And like everybody else in life, they got shit going on. They have a team of people working on it, but I mean, much
Well,
like
to be
that.
fair,
Calm
a
down.
lot of people don't realize there's only like 2 people working on it. There's only 2 human beings working on that program. And
There you
so
go.
it's a wonder what they've been able to do even now, but one day they'll say, "Okay, guess what? This is the final release." And it's not like they're going to stop working on it that day, but at least everything will be
No,
working and
they still
perfect.
update Fantasy Grounds like the regular Fantasy Grounds.
Oh yeah, there's one coming as a matter of fact. They're going to go to 3.11 or
What do they do you know what they're changing in the upcoming release?
No, but you
can you
can
spoil
find
it?
out. Actually, people can go to their website and look at the changes that are being made. You can
Mhm.
also go into your settings and go to test mode, and you can use the version that's coming next. And they don't recommend you do that if you're going to be playing a game or anything, but you can go check it out and then change back.
Right.
Yeah, and I do that sometimes. 3.11, thank you, Bob. And yeah, people, it's not suggested that anybody use Unity to play campaigns or games with, but some people are doing it. They're not having problems, but you got to just
I
be.
tried to load people in for a game, but that was when the beta first opened because I backed it on Kickstarter. I was in the initial wave of people who had access to it, and it was not supportive of like actually using as a tool at that point, and I haven't tried since. But it looks like they're moving to a point now where at least you can get people in a session together to like test out some features, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like I said, there are people who are actually playing campaigns with it.
There you go.
I would never do that. I personally wouldn't make that choice to DM a campaign in Unity right now, but that's only because
No.
I'm just too lazy to work with if there's a change or anything. But once they release that in final, it's going to be game on.
Right.
Game on, everybody. That's what I say.
Speaking of game on. Nope, never mind. That's an announcement for another time. Never
All
mind.
right,
My
we got to
brain
end
stopped
this.
working.
We have to end
Okay.
this madness.
Before I start rambling.
Before you give away secrets you're not supposed to give away. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Nope, nobody does. Nobody fucking does.
Is it exciting? Can you tell us that? Is it fun?
Depends on who you are.
Okay, well, that's fair.
I'm gonna be doing body painting, starting with just the pages. No.
Just
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right, I'm gonna need a date and time for that. Thank you.
Okay, I'll DM it to you along with some pre-paint pictures.
Good.
Okay, great. Took a second.
Diablo, well,
It
because
took
I
a
was
second to
the reason
land.
it took me a second is I was reading what Diablo Bob says. You should ask Meta what her feeling or view is of stacking tokens. And by the way, she can see the chat. I don't know why I need to ask her. You can just ask her.
Can see the chat. I'm trying not to read your chat out loud though. It's not my chat to monitor. Stacking tokens as in like multiple tokens on top of each other or different types of tokens, or like stacking features into tokens. Like, what do you mean stacking tokens?
Yeah, what do you mean?
I need a more thorough explanation of the question, please.
By the way, it's not your chat to monitor is no longer true, mod MetaTropes.
How dare you? I'm honored. Anytime I'm there, I'm around to help.
You're around to kick out some assholes. I usually don't get that many.
Starting with Diablo Bob.
Yeah, he's out. He's out. Tokens on top of each other. Well, I for one like the sound of that idea. Just anything on top of anything else. But what do you think?
being able to stack tokens might be useful. Like I like the idea of like being able to have a horse token and stacking 2 players on the back of it.
He has
That would
done
be
that, by
cool.
the way. He has made a thing that does that.
That is, I mean, that's cool, but I
It's
can't
called
see.
DM tools.
Oh, the having like a large humanoid, like a half giant or something, carry a gnome around. Love that shit. That's a useful thing for stacking tokens.
Yep,
But
he's also made it to where you can like have a light or an aura thing, and then
right.
not only stack it on top of another token, but affix it to that token so that when you move
Oh,
your
I
guy,
love
it goes with
that.
it. Yeah, oh yeah.
I
He's done it.
love that. Can you have you made one in that sense, like a light aura, but like for a directed beam of light or something, like from a bullseye
Not, I
lantern?
mean, you could make a token that is shaped like that if you wanted to, but like Robin made
Yeah.
tokens for lines, circles, cones, and squares. So she did. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you could affix it, but it wouldn't actually shade or unshade anything. But it could show you like
Right.
if somebody had a flashlight, which way is it pointing or something like that. Yeah.
That's the one thing about Fantasy Grounds Unity that really bought me in and why I wanted to support it so badly is because I love line of sight or range of view. I fucking love that shit. I like to hide traps like around corners where it's like right out of line of sight of players. I like to
Bob
do
is
that
telling
shit.
me to give you critically awesome essentials and DM's tools, which I can do.
Are you certain? I would love to use them.
I will give them to you. What?
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll do that after
I
the show.
love you, man.
George Orr has subscribed for 15 months. Bitboss, thank you, George. I will confirm your DM's Guild email with you to find out which one it is, and then we won't have to do that now on the air and dox your email. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, I appreciate
Uh,
that.
also, I'm not going to say your real name, which I happen to know. Thank you.
My first name is Keisha, if anyone needs to know.
Keisha, there you go. Keisha Smith is her name. That's her
cares.
full name. Keisha Smith Johnson. Keisha Smith Johnson.
Keisha Agent Johnson Smith, to be perfectly honest.
There you go.
Please don't hunt me down and find me. I am easy to find. There is no other Keisha Agent Smith Johnson. Just be polite, guys.
And she works at a hotel, which of course is code for CIA. You guys all know. It's just like, yeah, I'm a streamer and a DM's Guild developer. Yeah, I'm the social media manager for Fantasy Grounds. Yeah, that's what I do. That's all. That's it. There's no other secret back thing behind that at all. Don't even try to find it. All right. Well, good. I think this was awesome. No, I'm gonna take that back.
Awesome.
I know this was awesome.
You better.
You better. Well, it was fun having you and having you on the show. You're way better than Robin. I'm just kidding, everybody. There's no contest. There's no competition. It's all just fun.
There was a competition. I lost. No.
Well, yeah. It's funny how Robin and I even started the show because we were just bullshitting one day, and she goes, "We should do this on stream." I'm like, "Don't fucking tease me," and then we just did it. And so yeah, so I don't know that she'll watch this or not, but I threw that in there just in case she watches this and then sees it all the way in. She'll be like, "You bastard."
She seems like a fantastic person. I'm sure
she's super fun.
Spending time with her.
She's super fun. She's kind of like the female version of me.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a lot of the same, except for her distaste in movies. We have a lot of the same, mental. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. You probably know.
Okay, sure. Okay.
You're smarter than me.
Yeah,
she does. That's what she does. Yeah, she does that. But she is not a member of the tabletop RPG yet.
That could change.
Could change. Nobody knows what's happening.
I don't
Jumping
even know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't even know. Dave said, "Hey Rob, you want to be part of a network?" I'm like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I'm in. Let's do it." And then this is happening. Maida, what? I kind of wanted to ask you if you had the stuff, but didn't want to be blatant about it. I'm just weird. This is Bob talking.
What stuff? Are you talking about if I had
he's the one
stuff?
Yeah, Diablo Bob is the one that made the critically awesome essentials and DM's tools and all that. He's the one that
Right.
invented that shit.
Right.
So he wanted
Yeah,
you to have
I
it,
know I didn't.
but I think he wanted to know if you had it, but he didn't want to ask in such a way that it was like, hey, you don't have that? Go and buy it, bitch. Like he didn't want to come off like that, you know. So but we'll make sure you get that. Actually,
I think I would be so if somebody came at me like, you don't have that, go and buy it, bitch. If somebody came at me so direct like that, I would be so thrown off my game. I would be like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll.
I'm on my way right now.
Yeah.
CAE and stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, good. Any final words that you'd like to say, Meta, before we go? Any parting thoughts? Any?
Yeah, no. My parting thoughts, after today's really in-depth conversation, getting to know you so well, I need to express some deep emotions with the chat, and that is, please support your local prostitutes safely.
That's right. Safely. Good. I'm glad. I thought you were gonna say something like, after getting to know you, Rob, I'm gonna need a few days off to mentally recuperate.
I'll be over here ignoring your phone calls.
Yes, good. You should. That'd be my advice to you. Is if I was you, I wouldn't take my call either.
No, I would never. You're a delight.
You are a delight. Oh my God, she's a goddamn delight, everybody. So follow Meta on Twitter at Lady Arcanist. Do it now.